we enter into that space of the awareness of awareness. And what is that space? It's spacious. It's energetic, filled with light, and opens us into compassion. So as we open that space in the body, we'll extend it up and down through the whole body, extending up from the base of the spine to the top of the head, and from the top of the head into the lower body. We extend into the field around us, into spaciousness. So we extend right now to the person on our right, across the room, to our left, to the whole group, and to all those zooming in this morning as they extend to us. So we feel the energy of that space right now. We feel the resonance of all the people. And the energy of the field. We pull it into the top of the head, down through the forehead, through the face, through the throat, down into the heart, down into the belly, into the lower body. And we extend that same energy from the back of the head into the forehead, the back of the head into the eyes, the back of the head into the mouth, the back of the head into the throat, the back of the head into the heart, the back of the head into the belly, and the back of the head into the lower body. And then settling right now in the heart, taking it one more step. As we open into the light, to the light of the field. And becoming one with the light. And feeling our gratitude to this light, this essence of us that we all know and are very much in touch with. We extend also to our teachers. Our root teacher is Swami Muktananda, all our Buddhist teachers, and we extend particularly to Lama Norla this morning, who's been quite ill. We extend to all our traditions of which we've participated. And to the great archetypes of all the traditions. So as we hold the field, one in the field, I'm going to give give a talk. It's not a typical, perhaps not a typical meditation talk, and it's about the 19th century. In the 19th century, Leo Tolstoy wrote The Circle of Violence. He wrote about it, in which society, the Tsarist society, was engaged. He writes of this circle of violence, pre-Bolshevik revolution. It seems relevant today as well. He describes it in this way. There are 4 methods of violence. The first is intimidation, the oldest of all techniques of violence, representing the existing state organization, which dictates the social order. There may be a secret police who enforces the current social order. Over and over again, fear of the unknown is amplified. So we've seen this method in our own country in the past election. The intimidation of Donald Trump and the unfolding of the intimidation of the administration. Thank God for our system of checks and balances. The second method of this circle of violence is a kind of hypnosis of the general population, or an indoctrination. Fear-invoking rhetoric over and over and over again. In 19th century Taoist or Tsarist Russia, catechism also checked the moral development of man from early childhood until the day they died. So they had to incorporate the values of their ancestors and rejecting the ideas of democracy in the modern world. Relevant here again is Trump's administration attempt to make racism politically correct, silencing Elizabeth Warren. So corruption is the third method, plundering the people, the working people, of their wealth by taxing them. This was particularly noted in Tsarist Russia, as the peasants did not own the land they worked. Trump has suggested raising import taxes on produce coming into the United States from Mexico to build his most unpopular wall. The fourth method, selecting men who have been stupefied by the other 3 methods and enlisting them as soldiers to be able to act with violence against any threat to the authorities. Tolstoy mentions that the other side of this continuum is anarchy, to see all government as evil and use violence over and over again to bring people into agreement. A la Bannon. Tolstoy felt the only way out of this circle of violence was nonviolent demonstration. In the 1890s, the church began to denounce Tolstoy, which created even greater circulation of his writings. In 1899, he wrote the novel, The Resurrection, attacking the institutions of the Tsarist state, the church, the government, the penal system, private property, and the social conventions of the aristocracy. So the resurrection goes like this. A young prince falls in love with a peasant girl, and then he sexually assaults her. He goes off to war. She becomes pregnant, and so he leaves her when he left her a little bit of money. The baby dies. She ends up a prostitute. Later in the novel, he's on jury duty and becomes aware that the defendant is this same peasant girl convicted of the murder, which she is innocent. Realizing who she is, he becomes repentant and guilty about the girl. He resolves to help her appeal her case, as she's been convicted as a murderer. He also says, "I'll marry her." So she's sent to Siberia, and he follows her there. He encounters the penal system as he visits her and sees these horrible scenes of children and adults crowded into tiny cells. He begins to help prisoners and obtains release for some. He asks the question of many authorities: how did all these innocent people get into jail? This is amazing to him. How does this inequality happen over and over again between the peasant and the gentleman? And becoming present to the peasants of his own manor, he realizes that the peasants are all starving. So he gives away all his land to the peasants. At the end of the novel, still in Siberia, he's rejected by the girl. So in despair, he turns to the gospel of Jesus to soothe and inspire him. Tolstoy's own belief about God was that God could not be comprehended by the human mind, but only be experienced through prayer in a moment of awareness of divinity. Tolstoy rejected the doctrines of the church and began to preach about a practical religion based on Christ's example as a living being. This practical religion went beyond the monastery to engage in all the major social issues of poverty, inequality, cruelty, and oppression. He also rejected the violence of the socialists. He was a pacifist. In his view, the only way to fight injustice and oppression was by obeying Christ's teaching. So Tolstoy gave all the money he had made from the resurrection, the novel, to the Duke Horbours. This religious sect went back to the 18th century when it was first created, a Christian brotherhood, which rejected the authority of church and state. So right from their very existence, they suffered persecution in Russia. All the core elements of Tolstoyism were taken from the Duke of Wars. These core elements were the idea that the kingdom of God is within oneself, the rejection of doctrines and rituals of the established church, and the imagined principles of a better peasant way of life and community. So these understandings are not different than those which we understand to be the basis of meditation practice. That God dwells within us, as us. And the next part of that practice is seeing God in each other. There is no one above, no one below. So we'll enter into awareness once again. And this time we'll use the mantra, Hum Sa. Hum Sa. am that. I am that. This, of course, was Swami Muktananda's, our root teacher's mantra. Hum Sa. And as the mantra opens, one becomes the light. So as we've been cultivating awareness for some time, we'll do that practice where we focus on family and friends, holding them in the light. Perhaps people that are having some difficulty. And again, we'll focus on Mama Norla. We'll extend our city, our country. Extend that same light to our democracy. That it may be preserved. And we'll extend to all humanity. That light. And we have one more chant today.
Shema Echad, Shabta Echad. one into one, one becomes one.
One into one, one becomes one. One into one, one becomes one.
One becomes one, one into one. One becomes one, one into one.
One becomes one, one into one. One becomes one, one into one.
ושמו אחד, שבת אחד אחד.
ושמו אחד, שבת אחד אחד.
ושמו אחד, שבת אחד אחד.
ושמו
One into one, one becomes one. One into one, one becomes one.
One into one, one becomes one. One into one, one becomes one.
One becomes one, one into one. One becomes one, one into one.
One becomes one, one into one. One becomes one, one into one.
Kira Kadisha Berazad Echad Echad be'echad, echad be'echad, echad be'echad, echad be'echad. Echad be'echad, echad be'echad, echad be'echad, echad be'echad. One into one, one becomes one. One into one, one becomes one.
One into one, one becomes one. One into one, one becomes one.
One becomes one, one into one. One becomes one, one into one.
One becomes one, one into one. One becomes one, one into one.
Echad be'echad, echad be'echad. Echad be'echad, echad be'echad. One into one, into one, into one, into one. One becomes one, becomes one, becomes one, becomes one. Echad be'echad, echad be'echad. Echad be'echad, echad be'echad.
So we'll start to close up right now. If you like, you can rub your hands together till they're hot. Feeling at the heart, top of the head, the belly. Do you have any announcements? Yeah.
Good morning. Tomorrow morning we have Dakini Day. It starts at 8 o'clock, ends at 9 o'clock or 9:15. If you'd like to come on, you can send me an email and I'll give you the code that you can come on Zoom. And Dakini Day, we take these great texts of the Dakini and we invoke them and we enter into the experience of that dimension.
So we'll see you all next week. Okay. Thanks. There's some chai upstairs.